Okay, you want to take it? I don't think anyone can do That's better? This is straight. Right? That's straight right. And 1, 2. Yeah.
Anybody see the Jonas score coach? I believe you don't usually see body shots. You see that leg reaction. Great.
Is it only better? Yeah. Exactly.
Wait for the microphone.
What's up, Eddie? How you doing? Good. Ellie. I like that. That was nice. We need.
Great.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new champ, Jessie Rodriguez, everyone. Hi everybody. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Kind of. Please wait for the microphone before you ask your question. Over to the champ and the champ trainer, Robert Garcia. Please raise your hand for your questions, please.
Hi, Bam, right here. Congratulations on a phenomenal win. It seems like every fight you just keep getting better and better. What's your secret?
The better the opponent, the better I perform. I've always felt that way. It was just a matter of time until the world's seen it.
Jesse, para el boxeador Jonathan Hernández, muchas felicidades por este triunfo contundente. Mencionó Juan Francisco Gallo.Estrada sobre una posible revancha, por ahí una cláusula de una revancha inmediata, pero me gustaría saber a mí cuál es el plan de Bam Rodriguez. Se ha hablado mucho sobre apresurar tu camino para una pelea con Aoki Inoue. ¿Piensas mantenerte y ser un campeón sólido en la división o ganar la carrera para alcanzar al campeón japonés?
Yeah, so the question was, obviously given your victory tonight against Estrada, what's your plan now? Is one of the things you like to do become a solid champion in this division, or would you like to go on and look to challenge, people in particular like Inoue in a different weight class, or would you like to stay as a solid champion in this one?
Yeah, I've been saying all week that I'm here at 115 for 2 or 3 fights. I know there's a rematch clause with Estrada, so if he wants to go through with that, then he can run it back. If not, then I want the winner of Ioki Martinez.
Buenas noches, Sergio Betancourt de Total Box. La pregunta sería, felicidades, congratulations Jesse para Robert. Todo el mundo está sorprendido, Robert, de cómo terminó, pero me llama mucho la atención verte sorprendido también a ti. ¿Te sorprendió? Esa es la pregunta, ¿cómo terminó la pelea? Sé que estabas confiado, pero ¿realmente esperabas un resultado así?
Pues no que esté sorprendido, porque sé lo que tengo a mi lado, sé el peleador que tengo, la dedicación que tiene el gimnasio y todo eso puede pasar, pero también el Gallo es una leyenda, es un guerrero, un peleador de respeto, y yo sí esperaba que se parara, pues, especialmente después del gancho ligado. O sea, yo sí pensé que se iba a parar, pero bueno, fue demasiado fuerte que no pudo, pero en realidad lo que tengo a mi lado no me sorprende de lo que esté haciendo, pero sí me sorprende más de que no se pudo parar el Gallo.
So yeah, the question was, were you surprised with what happened tonight with Bam's performance? Were you surprised with the way he was able to stop Gallo? And Robert's answer was, I'm never surprised really, because I wasn't surprised with what happened, because I'm not surprised about the person that I have alongside me. I see him in the gym, I see how he works and the ability he's got. But you have to say Gallo is a legend, he's a warrior, and he has complete respect. That was a great liver shot that he was hit with, and I was surprised that he ended up, being stopped. But what I'm not surprised about is the guy I've got alongside me.
Hey man, Roman, and after you dropped him, you smiled. What was going through your mind?
I don't know, I was just happy that I dropped him.
Did you know it was over?
I thought he was gonna get up, so I don't know, something kind of told me it was over, but in the back of my mind, I thought he was gonna get up.
Question for Bam and also Eddie. Just going through social media at the minute and having a look at the scorecards. One judge had you ahead, Bam. One judge had it even, and another judge had Gallo ahead. Just your response to that, and also your review.
I mean, honestly, that's pretty crazy to me. I thought I was dominating the whole fight. Even the round I got dropped in, I came back and finished that round pretty strong. So those scorecards were kind of shocking to me, but I mean, that's boxing, that's the way it goes. Good thing I got him out of there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Mexican judge gave Bam 2 rounds. quite incredible out of 6. I mean, you know, it was a competitive fight, but Bam was dominating the fight, and then he came back with a knockdown. Pretty much every card's going to be a 10-8 with that, even though he probably won the round outside of it. But you know, it's starting to get a little bit competitive. But I think to not have Bam winning the fight at the time of stoppage is quite incredible.
I think Chavez was the Mexican judge because every round he was winning. I was hearing him right there next to us, and they were giving Gallo every round. So I think Chavez was the judge.
He did leave kind of early.
Huh?
He did leave kind of early.
Who
Chavez, as soon as they announced the winner, he left the arena.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm telling you, because he every round we hear everything they're talking, and every round was going to Gallo, from Chavez's scorecards. But hey, it was a competitive fight, Let's do a rematch.
This is for Robert and Bam. The 7th round, even though you got the knockout, you seemed way more defensive and responsible than you were before the knockdown. Was there a kind of come to Jesus moment in the corner between rounds to say, hey, you got to focus more on defense?
Yeah, when I got dropped, I got too careless. Robert was telling me, probably the round before, I think, just to stay calm, keep doing what I was doing, and I just got too comfortable, to be honest, and I got caught with a good shot.
Well, congratulations on your win tonight. Great performance. You are of the greats of this weight class. Question, you say after the fight, you won the winner between Puma Martinez and Kazuto Hioka. Do you plan to unify to become undisputed? The whole division?
Definitely. I believe they're fighting for 2 belts. So if I were to fight them and win that fight, there's only 1 belt left, and if it presents itself, then I'll be more than happy to step inside the ring with the champion of the WBO.
Second question, how can you help to spar against Chocolatito?
What's that?
How much help to you sparring against Chocolatito?
Yeah, with Chocolatito, the sparring with him, it was probably the perfect sparring I could have got for this camp. He's been inside the ring with Estrada 3 times, so he knows Estrada better than anybody else. So I'm very thankful for those rounds, and I want to give a shout out to Chocolatito for the 3 sparring sessions we had.
Thank you.
Bam, can you talk about all the training that you did for this fight? How did that match the reality of what you saw in the ring tonight? And then follow-up question, were you actually surprised to hear him say that he wants the rematch given what happened in the ring tonight?
I'm not really surprised. Gallo.Estrada is a legend, he's a warrior, so of course he's gonna want to get back and try to beat me, but I'm only getting better from here on out, so.
There's a lot of boxing. Where do you rate this victory among all your other victories?
I believe this is my best one, just because of the opponent I had in front of me. Gallo.Estrada, like I said, just right now he's a legend. He used to be on the pound rankings for a very long time, and for me to go out there and dominate him the way I did, it just says a lot about my performance, my talents.
Congratulations. So what do you think of the Hioka Martinez fight? Who do you think going to win?
It's a great fight. I think Hioka, he's a little too technical for Martinez, so I think Hioka will come out with the victory.
Obviously, there is a big market in Japan. Would you like to fight in the future in Japan, or would you like to fight here?
No, I would love to fight in Japan. I've been out there a few times. I've been to the boxing matches out there as well, and it's a different atmosphere, so I would love to go out there and fight whoever.
Hey Ben, Chaz with Dosa Boxing. How were you able to quickly shake off that first knockdown that you had, and what were you able to tap into in order to change any tactical positions against them in order to win the fight?
Yeah, it was just a flash knockdown. I knew right away. I already knew when I was going down that it was a flash. I was already smiling, I think. And then I just got back up and stuck to the game plan. I just didn't stick to the game plan, and I got caught with a good shot. That's what happens. These are championship fights, so I gotta stay at the top of my game. It's just a learning experience.
Hey Robert, I want to ask you a question. What was going through your mind right here? What was going through your mind when your fighters got knocked down? And what instructions did you give them?
You know what? Right, the round before the knockdown, you know, we did tell him, you know, we can't, you know, have you get a little too confident, because I noticed there was those moments where he was landing, and he got a little confident, you know, especially the straight right hand. But we reminded him, and he went out and, you know, just went out there too confident, thinking, because he was telling us he's got no power. I don't feel his power, and you know, it happens in boxing. You know, he got caught, but. Good thing is he listened after that, he paid attention. I knew it wasn't I knew it was just a flash knockdown, because the way he got up and the way he smiled and looked at us, you know, I was confident that, you know, he would, you know, actually go out there and probably win the rest of the round, you know, so I was confident, I was good.
You gave Estrada his flowers after getting dropped for the first time in your career, saying you were able to hang in there with the legend. But now, after stopping him, what does that make you?
Legend slayer.
Jessie, acá, para el boxeo. El Consejo Mundial de Boxeo tiene en este momento un campeón interino de las 115 libras, que es Pedro Guevara, también mexicano. En caso de que el Consejo Mundial de Boxeo les pidiera a ustedes que respetaran esa pelea mandatoria, le darías la oportunidad nuevamente a Pedro Guevara de Mazatlán, Sinaloa.
So, Jesse, I wondered if you could answer this question. It's regarding the WBA interim title, WBC interim title, and the person who holds it, Pedro Guevara. I'm wondering if you were asked to take that fight and that became your mandatory, would you give this fighter the opportunity?
I'm not here to fight anybody, but honestly, that's a step down. I want to unify the division, so I want the winner by Yoko Martinez.
Bam, congrats on the win. When we were here 2.5 years ago, I told Chris Algieri that you were the best fighter I've ever seen come out of Texas in all the years I've been doing this, even better than Spence, and he laughed at me. Thanks for proving me right. I appreciate that.
I got it, man.
You've got 3 wins over legends now. You got a win over Sonny Edwards. How important is it to you where, you know, the media and the boxing world ranks you on that pound-for-pound list?
At first, I didn't really care, to be honest, but once I was first put on it, it was, I mean, it happened right after I beat Sonny, and to be put on the pound-for-pound list, I felt better about that than actually winning the fight. So just to stay on the pound-for-pound list means a lot to me. To be on the list with great fighters, it's an honor.
First and foremost, Bam, I just want to congratulate you. A phenomenal performance, probably the best one of your career thus far. Robert, wanted to ask you, obviously we've seen Bam look sensational against the top, highlight real knockouts with that uppercut. We got that knockdown today, but it was the body shots that made Gallo quit. We've heard Shakur Stevenson praise Bam from their sparring 8-9 years ago, and it was specifically the body shots. Obviously, you being with Bam day in, day out, what do you think is Bam's best weapon, if you will?
You know what, I think every punch he throws is great. You know, his best weapon, I do like body shots, and he could tell you every round I was telling him, let's invest a little in some body shots, let's break him down with body shots. And you know, the good thing is that he listens. You know, I know he throws very good body shots, but I love those uppercuts he throws, you know, especially when he moves to the side, left or right, and lands those uppercuts. I think that to me that's my favorite. But you know, this time around was a nice body shot, and you know, guy couldn't get up, so gotta like that one too.
Hey Ben, down here, Jose Romero from Arizona Republic, local newspaper. Congratulations, and how about this atmosphere tonight? You've come to Arizona twice and gotten a couple of big wins here. just the love that the fans gave to these lower weight classes. What did you just feel all of that tonight?
Yeah, I fought here 3 times actually, but tonight was the biggest one. I beat quarters here. I unified against Sonny Owers, and now I took the starter's belt. So now Phoenix holds a special place in my heart. I love fighting here, and I mean the atmosphere was great tonight. I've always pictured myself in fights like this, and to be a part of it, in reality, it was a dream come true.
In the build-up to the fight, a lot of people talked about Noah in a way, just in the background. A lot of people talked about Noah in a way and a potential fight with you. You mentioned in the ring about it being a fantasy fight. But at this stage of your career, what does it mean to you to just be even mentioned in the same breath as fighters like Inoue?
I mean, it's badass. A 115-pounder, he's 122, so to be mentioned with him, it just goes to show how talented I am.
Couple more guys.
Question for Robert. What do you thought about Art's performance tonight?
Archer.
I didn't even know we got partners on the undercard. I'm just kidding. You know what? It was a good learning experience. Also, tough fight. The kid fought really good. I congratulate him too because he fought a great fight. You know, had a little trouble the first few rounds, but you know we kept telling him we got to be a little bit more active, a little bit busier, and he listens. You know, he listened and started picking it up. But yeah, no, it was an easy fight. It was a pretty tough fight. You know, I got respect to our opponent also.
Hey Eddie, traditionally, like the lighter weights, they haven't made a ton of money, but you're such a creative promoter. Do you have some ideas where you can really maximize everything that he can earn and everything he can do based on his skill?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing well. He's done well. He's 24. So, you know, I think the thing about Bam is he's not really interested in meaningless fights. So that's always going to help, you know, in terms of the numbers, because they're always going to be big fights. And what we're doing is we're consistently building the numbers and the crowd. You know, we started off quite small in San Antonio. We come here, you know, we did double the numbers tonight that we did against Edwards, and I think we continue to build that. I mean, I couldn't believe the reception that Bam got here tonight. Don't forget, he's from San Antonio, Texas, and it was like he was from Phoenix. You know, we know there was a huge amount of Mexican fans here, but the atmosphere was incredible. So I think his stock continues to grow. Yes, he's in the smaller weight class, but that's why I keep asking for the respect amongst the names of Crawford and Inoue and Usyk. I believe he's that same kind of mould as those fighters. So, you know, it's difficult commercially to build it, but DAZN are supporting him. He's doing great numbers. That show, that fight would have done huge numbers for DAZN tonight. Did very well at the gate. And you know, although we always need a good dance partner, he's building his own brand. And it's just the beginning, really.
Bam, what do you think about Doug Fisher, the editor of Ring Magazine, saying that you're going to move up more than one spot in the pound for pound list?
I think so. That was something that was being said before the fight, especially if I were to stop him. Definitely top 5 now.
This question is for
Last
Eddie.
question, guys. Last question.
David with More Boxing No Problem. This is for Eddie Hearn. Would we consider Bam a great contender to be a part of another card for another possible 5v5 with another promoter?
I hope so. I might win one. Yeah. I mean, look, just the thing about the 5v5 was that the aim was to be competitive. You know, if I start putting Bam, you know, Boots, you know, all these great fighters in, then Andy Cruz, you know, we're going to win more than 0 fights. But you know, I think that His Excellency, in all seriousness, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh would have been watching tonight, and he knows his boxing, and he knows great fighters. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Jessie Bam Rodriguez with a little trip to Saudi Arabia at some point as well. I think that'd be nice to tick on the list as well. Guys, I just want to say thanks so much for your support. It was an incredible night tonight, from top to bottom, the whole week. We always feel so welcome here in Phoenix. The atmosphere is so great, everyone's so knowledgeable. So thank you to the Footprint, thank you to DAZN, and well done, Jessie Rodriguez, new WBC and Ring Magazine champion. Well done.
Was it as easy as you thought, man? That was easy work.
Congrats. Congratulations. Way to go. Way to go. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Tuesday. Are you going? I'm going Tuesday.
Oh, to watch the fight?
No.
Robert, how you feeling, man? Great performance out, obviously from Bam. First one to stop a future Hall of Famer and Gallo.Estrada. I mean, immediate thoughts.
You know, it was a good fight. We were excited. We were ready to perform. You know, Bam is he listens, he follows instructions, and you know, there's the results, man. I'm happy. You know, I have a great fighter in my team, and you know, I think that motivates the rest of the team. You know, with you know, guys like Virgil and Rayo and all those guys, and it just motivates them to push themselves even harder.
Would you say that this is Bam's best performance thus far?
Okay, never. I think he performs well, man. You know, can this be the best? Maybe because of the fighter that he was in there against. Yeah, but he always performs well, man. Vamos payo. You're gonna go. O estás ya tú solo?
I can't keep count. You've had too many world champions in your coaching career, Robert. But out of all the champions you work with, what would you say it is about Bam that sets him apart from everyone else?
You know, he's just special. The dedication he has, you know, the wins he's had, the kind of fights he wants to take. You know, he doesn't want to take stay fights. He wants to take.
Joshua, what'd you think of your brother tonight, man?
It was a badass performance. Got the job done. Stopped him. He looked good.
He almost made it look a little easy.
Yeah.
He had Gallo kind of where he wanted him.
Yeah.
Like the whole time.
Yeah,
I see that too.
Yeah, even in the first round, I felt like Gallo felt you know, my brother's power and skills. And I think it was just a matter of time until my brother got him out of there.
When he got dropped, were you getting nervous, or did you kind of see his face?
I got kind of nervous. I got kind of nervous because I had never seen him get dropped before, so it kind of surprised me. But he shook it off and he came back right away. So it was good. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go, folks.
Media,
start heading out.
I think it's that way. My stuff.
These autograph posters went missing, and I just want to know who took them, so I can let her know.
What's up?
That
I just say, just needs help. He needs help real bad. I hope he can get it.
That rematch, I know the rematch, that's something that they both want. Haney and Brian, let's try to fast forward a little bit hypothetically to a year later. Could that be the first match, both of them coming back after a year?
Who knows?
What can you tell us about this the fight here that's going on in Saudi?
Nothing really. I mean, there's really just exploratory conversations. You know, His Excellency has an incredible vision for boxing. He's got a lot of ideas. The stuff that was reported, half was correct, half was incorrect. You know, we're bound by confidentiality on a lot of these things. So, but there's a lot of exciting things being discussed. And you know, if there's a way to bring boxing together, you've seen him do that quite effectively so far. I think it's something that a lot of people would be interested in.
The team concept with 5 versus 5 was pretty
Massive.
cool.
The numbers were huge, you know, and the narrative was huge. I mean, don't forget, you've got Matchroom and Queensbury. Like, obviously, you know about it, right? But in the UK, it's like we're like, you know, I don't know, New York and Boston, or I don't know, whatever you want to, you know. So, and it's like, yeah, it was pretty fierce. So it was a huge media story, and although we didn't do very well in the tournament, the show did very, very well on the numbers, and I think it's a concept that can work.
Eddie, when you brought the the Chavez Jr. Danny Jacobs fight here, kind of by not choice, you kind of had to. Could you envision like what we saw tonight?
No, I mean just the best atmosphere. You know, like knowledgeable fight fans. I mean, even when we started the prelim fights, it was really busy. You know, and I think I don't think we've got credit either for providing free air conditioning as well, like I said to fans tonight. I think it was a really nice touch from Metro.
We'll pay you in the back after.
Yeah. But I think when there were so many people in here earlier, I was like, they're watching the boxing and they're getting a nice cool arena. You know, so I think that there's not a fight that you could bring here that wouldn't do well. As long as it's a good fight and as long as it's a good card, they understand it, they get it, you know, and you know we will always be in Phoenix at least 2 times a year, hopefully 3 times a year. And like when you look at Bam, you know, you'd think that Bam back in San Antonio would make sense, but it's difficult to take him away from Phoenix now as well.
I was gonna ask you, he's a star now. He can draw anywhere. The rematch, we'd love to have him back in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Is that on the table?
Yeah, it just, you know, can you do 10,000 plus in San Antonio?
He can do it in Arizona. He can do it in
Well, do you want to make sure? Can you guarantee me to go? No, but that's.
I'll guarantee.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Yeah, right, yeah.
He'll put the money up for you.
No,
No
but
problem.
that is honestly, that's the reality of it. You know, like I know I can do 10,000 here, probably 12,000 for the rematch. Can you do that in San Antonio? And I'd like to say yes, but it's a little bit unproven. So, but we have to go back there at some point with Bam because you know it just wouldn't be weird not to. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Eddie, I know part of the storyline of this fight was Chocolatito sparring Bam. I know Mr. Honda isn't big on you know, his fighters facing each other, but I mean it's an excellent
to be honest with you, if it wasn't down to Mr. Honda, I would have made that fight already. You know, but I respect Mr. Honda. You know, he cares for his fighters, and I care for him as well. But I want to see him make a lot of money, and sometimes the right dance partner helps you do that. And as big as the unification is, it's not probably as big as the Chocolatito fight, you know. But that's just stuff we have to, you know, speak to Bam and Robert about and map out his career. You know, your question about maximising his money. You know, he's making a lot of money, but now he moves into that top 5 pound for pound list or where it's close to. You know, he deserves more and more and more. And you know, I think he's an outstanding fighter.
Eddie, I don't know if you saw, but Virgil Ortiz was in he was sitting down watching the fight here live. Obviously, you have Boots Ennis. That was a big fight that they wanted at 147. Obviously, Virgil's not at 154. Could you has there been any talks about when you talk to Jaron Ennis maybe in the future?
No, Jaron would love that fight. I mean, I want to see Jaron. You know, obviously he fights in 2 weeks. I want to see him unify the division, try and clean up at 147, then move to 54. And if Terence Crawford gets through Madrimov, which I don't think he does, then Boots Ennis will clean out Terence Crawford.
Why do you think he will get past Madrimov?
Because I think they're underestimating him. I think he's a very, very good fighter. He's extremely tough. He hits very, very hard. You know, and it's all like, you know, Canelo after this, after this, after. Like, don't get me wrong, Crawford's the favourite in the fight. But Madrimov is a very, very tough fight. He's got great movement. He's a fit, strong guy in his prime. As I said, punches very hard, and that's not an easy fight.
So you're gonna rely on that as well. That if possibly, if he does beat Madrimov, do you think he still will goes up and try to face Canelo? Won't give him maybe a chance? Canelo versus Crawford, because I know he's very active and spoken about that fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's down to his excellency. I think the only person that can make that fight is his excellency, because of what Canelo wants for that fight. So you're gonna have to pay up for it, and the only way that's gonna pay the money that Sal wants for that fight is in Saudi Arabia.
Eddie, the circle of life in boxing is kind of like the young guy beats the legend, and in the process kind of like, you know, picks up his fans along the way. Is that kind of like your goal for tonight?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the goal, but I think that you're right. I think that happens. I mean, you know, I'm sure there was a lot of mixed feelings tonight, because I think the Mexicans do also like Jessie. They love the way he fights. He fights like a Mexican. You know, he's beaten Quadras, he's beaten Estrada, and they know and respect the smaller weight classes. So, yeah, I think that would be the case.
What do you think of the scenario where it looks like maybe Conor McGregor is going to be on that UFC card at the Sphere around September 14th, and yet that's always been his day. Do you think Canelo would move off that date?
It depends where he fights. You know, who knows if His Excellency does a deal with Canelo for Crawford, and I don't know, maybe another fight I think's been talked about, or, you know, if PBC do a fight. I mean, I think he'll fight Berlanga next. I do. You know, I think when you look at the options, he's going to have a fight before he fights Crawford or before he fights someone else. So who else is there to fight? Well, you've got 2 mandatories. One is William Skull, who I've never heard before in my life, with all due respect to him. I'm sure he's a good fighter. And the other one is Edgar Berlanga, who's a Puerto Rican knockout artist who's fought on ESPN, fought on DAZN. Everybody knows him. And it's a competitive fight. So I think he'll fight Berlanga next. But
A fight in New York, right?
I don't know. I think Vegas, New York, wherever, you know. But, you know, if there's the Sphere fight, then maybe they want to do it in New York. I'm not sure.
Well, Canelo hasn't fought in New York at least recently. Is that you want?
Fought there against Rocky Fielding.
Oh, you're
yeah,
right.
4 years. I like it, but you know, Canelo is a bit of a creature of habit as well. He likes his Vegas fights, but also he likes fighting in Texas. But New York, you know, it's like different.
I wanted to ask you, Raymond Ford.
Yes.
The ball fight was so good. I think.
Yeah, I thought he won the fight, but you know, it's a very close fight. He probably stayed at 126 one fight too long.
That was my question.
But it was a big payday. It was a big opportunity in the 5v5. He's moving to 130, and I would like him to fight Lamont Roach for the World Championship in October, November on the East Coast.
Eddie, does Matchroom have any plans for Mexican Independence Day? Or weekend? Sorry.
Tequila? I don't know, maybe, yeah. I'm not sure. You know, traditionally, obviously, Canelo fights that weekend. And now there's the UFC event that weekend as well. So sometimes it's a bit of a log jam, but you know we're doing a lot in Mexico, and we'll be back there on August the 31st.
Eddie, in a perfect world, who does Bam fight next? It's like for you.
Inoue? yeah. No, I think the Estrada rematch does big business. I mean, he'd be a big favourite going into that fight, but it was competitive, and he dropped him. You know, and I think it was just the most crushing of body shots. Like, I would have actually liked to have seen it gone on more. I don't know, like, you know, Estrada's a very, very good finisher in the back half of the fight, but the body shot was so well placed, you know. But I think Estrada rematch, unification, Chocolatito, Inoue. I think at some point he's going to move to 118, but I'd like to see him unify first at 115.
Is the Chocolatito fight real? Because
for me, it would be. No, but probably. I would say, look, if you look at the big fights out there for Chocolatito, I mean, you could do the Estrada 4, but like, really. So you get to a stage where you say to Mr. Honda, if you don't allow the fight, you're actually taking a payday away from him. So unless you can come up with another option,
but not as big as Bam.
What's next for Rama?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I thought the scorecards were terrible for the Rama Ali fight. You know, I mean, I don't see how it could be anything else other than 96-94 either way. I mean, every round's closer to 2 minute rounds. This is one of the problems, but 98-92 twice. I mean, ridiculous. So maybe there'll be a rematch, but you know, I'd like to see her get another shot.
Do you still think that you could get a shot to do the Canelo next fight?
I mean, it's really down to the zone. You know, they had the broadcast last time. Didn't promote the fight. Or, you know, we didn't promote the fight. They didn't have to put the guarantee up, but they got the broadcast and they did extremely well. So they're quite happy doing that, to be honest with you. So yeah, I know. So business is good for DAZN. They're doing amazing at the moment. Their numbers are through the roof. So we're in a really good position with the platform. So you don't want to be over guaranteed. It's my opinion, not her opinion. You don't want to be over guaranteeing fighters for fights and doing millions of dollars in the process on the guarantee, because we've seen people do that before, and they left the business quite quickly.
Do you want to see Bam fight again in 2024?
Sorry?
Do you want to see Bam fight one more time in 2024?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, he's fresh. Like, I know it's a tough fight, but he's pretty fresh. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie.
Paul.
Thank you.
Thanks for the free AC, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything, man. Appreciate it. Hey, what's it? You go out?
Maybe.
I'll talk to you after.
All right, guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Great fight.
Guy, I said at the very start, guy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah, great fight. Great fight. Well, you guys have Bam on pound for pound this time. LA would be dope. Once you unify. That was a great toe-to-toe fight. That was just an excellent fight, man. Just excellent fight. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all. I'll be back on next week for Masvidal and all that. And then I also do the covering versus Cabrera. So thank you guys. Hit the like button on your way out. Share, like, and subscribe. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you watching. See you next time.